time now for the game preview presented by Ticketmaster here with head coach Kevin Stefanski. Kevin, big come-from-behind win against the Ravens last week. How good did it feel walking off of that field after that comeback win?
It felt pretty good. You know, these games are up and down. The season's up and down. You have to persevere in game like the guys did, and I'm just really proud of them for fighting. It never got too low. Got behind early, and the guys just continued to fight.
You talk about that fight. I go back to that play, the push of Jerome Ford. What does that say about this team, that they're able to not only try to do that play, but execute it the way they did and push him so far?
Yeah, you know, we coach effort, and we point it out all the time, and I think that was indicative of the guys just pushing for each other, and that's what this game is about. There's times that you got to go pick your teammate up. There's times you got to go push your teammate. In that case, the guys got behind the whole pile and said, you know, we got to move this ball any which way we can.
Good QB play in that last half, but unfortunately, as we know, Deshaun Watson out for the season. How do you guys rally around that heading into another tough divisional matchup?
Yeah, that's the NFL. You lose guys sometimes early in the season, sometimes late. We don't like it. You feel for all these players. I mean, you feel for Deshaun and Nick and Jack Conklin, guys that you lose for the season. It's no fun. We definitely don't enjoy that part of it. But it is part of it. It is part of our game. It's an unfortunate part of our game, but for us, we really just go back to making sure we do our job. I have my job to do, our players have their job to do, and we intend on doing that.
Pittsburgh Steelers up next, second matchup. What might be different from that first time you guys saw each other?
Yeah, it's a little bit different with guys in and out of the lineup, certainly. So you evolve over a season. So we've evolved in what we do offensively, defensively, special teams. They've done the same. So I know what hasn't changed. It's going to be physical. That's what these games are in the AFC North. We're looking forward to that opportunity.
Full week of practice for Dorian Thompson-Robinson, knowing he's the starter. What do you like about him, specifically looking at how he's going to match up with the Steelers?
Yeah, looking forward to Dorian doing his job, and a lot of that starts out here on the practice field and really jumping into the process and jumping into your preparation. So he's worked really hard. I just think about young rookies. You learn a lot over the course of the first few months. Obviously played in just one game, but he's learned from all these games. Just sitting and watching, you learn from these games. So he's diving into his preparation, and I'm excited for him.
Offensive line took some hits, right? But it seems like the guys that you called up filled the role. Going against that Steelers, that tough defense, what are you thinking you might see on Sunday? Yeah,
it's a huge challenge for our offense versus that defense. They do a great job, again, schematically. It's difficult front to run against. It's a tough group to pass against. They've had a ton of takeaways. They're leading the league in taking the ball away and in turnover margin. So it's a huge challenge for our offense. We understand that they have really good players. So we got to be about our business, and it's going to take 11 guys on either side of the ball.
They've had several weeks to put their offense together and figure things out. What are you seeing from them offensively? How have they grown to maybe give you guys another challenge on your defense?
Yeah, they've done a nice job really mixing up their runs. I think they have different run schemes. They've evolved their run schemes certainly since the last time we've played them. They've committed to the run. I think they have a two-headed monster at running back with Najee Harris and Warren. I think they have a nice 1-2 punch there. And then just the quarterback. We know he's athletic. We know he can make plays. He made some plays versus us in the first one, and they're definitely committed to running that football.
You got a guy like George Pickens. What is the secondary maybe look forward to the most? Is that a challenge for them? Do they get excited about that?
Huge challenge. Yeah, I mean, that's the competitive nature of this business. Our corners know that they're going to throw the ball up on a one-on-one. That's what he does really well. He's got great ball skills. He's a contested catch thrower. Now, he can run a bunch of different routes, as we saw in the first game. It's not like he's just a go-ball guy. They can use him in a variety of ways, but you definitely are excited when you're facing a guy of his caliber.
Back at home, how much does that weigh into this matchup? The last time you played them, you're obviously in Pittsburgh. Now you're back here in front of the Dog Pound. How much is that going to play into it?
It's going to be huge. I mean, our fans have been unbelievable all season. Which is no surprise probably to anybody, but we're going to need them on Sunday. They're a huge part of this. We're going to need them when our defense is out there because our defense feeds off that energy, and it makes life pretty hard on the offense when they can't hear.
Talked about offense, talked about defense. Be remiss to not talk about special teams. Dustin Hopkins, what has he meant to this team to be able to provide that consistency?
Yeah, he's been a very trustworthy vet. I mean, speaking of doing your job, he just shows up and does his job. He fits who we are, fits really well into this football team, and he's ready when called upon.
You played the Ravens back-to-back with Steelers. I know the AFC North is tough, right? How much tougher is this going to be, knowing that you just came off of that kind of game?
You know, we talk a lot, Cam. You don't take wins with you. You don't take losses with you. Obviously, you want to stack wins. We want to learn from our previous game, but we can't take it with us. So really, we turn the page, we put the blinders on, and we focus what's in front of us.
All right, thanks so much, Coach. Good luck on Sunday.
Thanks, Cam.